Five Nights at Freddy movie fans, it finally happened. We've reached that threshold. In the past week or a couple of days since I've been talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, covering some set photos that have been released, little plot points, casting updates, people kept yammering, we know too much, they're revealing it, they're ruining the movie. I was still pretty adamant that you only think they're revealing too much because you're a fan of the series and you can pinpoint these details into kind of knowing what the movie might be about, but we actually don't know a lot about what they're gonna do in this movie. But the set photo we got revealed today is the closest I'll come to agreeing with those people. Now we're getting into knowing too much about this movie territory, so let's proceed cautiously. If you are one of those people sensitive to information, I still don't think this will ruin the movie for you. If anything, it might get you more excited because we still don't know the exact context behind this set photo. But man, is it still something so juicy for us to speculate and wonder, what are they planning to do with the very first Five Nights at Freddy's movie? So be sure you movie fans are giving me your thoughts and opinions on this set photo along with the other little details we're going to discuss here today. And as a quick side note, because a lot of you guys are asking me, yes, I have already watched Scream 6. I am dying to talk about this movie with you guys. I was only allowed to post my social media reaction, so that's all I can show you for now, but I'll be able to post my actual review, spoiler free, March 8th on the channel. So that's when I'll be able to post my review of Scream 6. Until then, can't say much. But okay, before we dive into the actual set photo here that got a lot of Five Nights at Freddy movie fans going crazy, let's talk about a new minor cast member added on into the movie. Thanks to the update page, FNAF Movie Updates, we have here that a new actor named Michael P. Sullivan has been added on to fulfill some sort of role in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And even more interestingly enough, the actor has confirmed on Facebook where he posted one of my videos. Makes me feel a little recognizing like a celebrity and like us talking about this movie's reaching the higher ups. Mr. Blum, if you're seeing this, I'd love to get killed by an animatronic. But thanks to his Facebook interactions where he announced this, it appears that he's not a character from the games and was created solely for the movie. When responding to a fan about his role, he said, "My character was created for the movie and does not appear anyplace else in the franchise." There was even another fan that asked him if he knew the movie was going to be rated R, and he said, "Not sure yet, but I think so." Still keeping the debate alive whether this movie will end up being rated R or PG-13. That is going to be an interesting day on the internet, whether we get the confirmation either way. And again, I'd like to point out, I'm gonna be happy either way. I just, of course, would like it to be rated R because I want to see me some blood and guts in here. If it comes out being PG-13, so be it. I don't think it'll suck, but I'll be missing some of that blood. Still, it's just kind of nice to see that they're still rounding out the cast, adding people on, and it should be exciting to know they're creating new people for the movie. That kind of seems to scare fans because any little change from the game, they just start freaking out and losing their minds. But it just goes to show you that they're not afraid to do something different, and if you have Scott right here approving a lot of these changes, they should be changes for the better. I also want to bring us to another little updated look at the outside of the actual pizzeria location. And a couple of updates ago, you guys might have seen that we were going to get a road sign put out in front of the pizzeria, and now we finally have it placed in its position here, knocked over to the side, missing its lettering with just the words closed written on it, which really screams to me that for the majority of this movie, or at least in the present time that the movie's going to be taking place, the pizzeria will be shut down and Mike Schmidt, our character, will just be a security guard ensuring no one goes in or no one goes out of this pizzeria. Still, I don't know why, but I do love this shot of just a knocked over drive-through sign saying closed, and that this location has looked like this for probably about a decade. But now bringing us here to the set photo that I think finally does bring us to that threshold of maybe knowing a little too much about this movie. So again, caution if you would rather know nothing, but I still think there's context missing that makes us wonder how this could be used in the movie. Thanks to user Johnny Blocks, they noticed that on Instagram, a certain user had taken a trip to Jim Henson's Creature shop, the people who are making the suits and animatronics for the Blumhouse movie, and during this person's tour of seeing a lot of the puppeteer work that they have made, they managed to take a screenshot of one familiar character, Springtrap. Let me tell you guys right now, this looks absolutely glorious in person. This is like hands down so faithful to what it looks like from the games, and to now see that Jim Henson's Creature Shop is tinkering with the Springtrap look, that pretty much means we're gonna see a Springtrap in this movie. But how? That's where the real speculation and context that I was talking about begins, because We don't know how or even if they're gonna do that. The reason I bring this up for people maybe not too familiar with it is because Springtrap is like one of the scary antagonists of the game. Because we're gonna have Mathew Lillard in here playing William Afton, our purple guy, as the man behind the slaughter who likes to, well, take down younglings. And in the games, after a couple of sequels and learning some of the backstory, you eventually find out the fate of William Afton and how some of those kids he ended up slaughtering enact their revenge on William by kind of cornering him into a room where he can get inside this Springtrap suit that was one of the very early animatronic slash wearable suits where, yes, a person could fit inside it to actually wear it, but they weren't super reliable because if they got hit with moisture or water, they would lock up and kind of crush the person inside it with all the mechanical parts it has. And that's kind of what ends up happening to William Afton, where then he eventually gets resurrected in that Springtrap suit, bringing to life a new scarier form that we knew we were eventually going to see. Whenever Mathew Lillard confirmed, I have a 3-picture deal, you're not just going to use him for one movie. You're eventually going to set him up to be in that Springtrap suit and have him mainly be inside that for at least one movie.
But I just got cast in a movie called Five Nights at Freddy's.
Which congratulations.
Yeah, it's very fun. It's a 3-picture deal with Universal and Blumhouse.
Many fans speculated that it wouldn't happen until the 3rd movie because we don't get that revelation till the 3rd FNAF game. But as I've mentioned to you guys before, they are going to do things differently from the games. They're going to cram a lot of different storylines probably into one movie, and it looks like by here we could get that ending where William Afton gets stuck inside the suit and ends up dying, to where in the next movie he'll be resurrected in the full Springtrap look. If not that, it could easily just be an Easter egg or something that we see in the pizzeria whenever Mike Schmidt is maybe exploring the place at night, looking through different closets and whatnot. That's supposed to be a suit that's there either way, so they could just have this thing there as like a little setup, and then they don't do the whole Springtrap storyline until the next movie. But the way Jim Henson's Creature shop is molding this mask so it's wearable for a person, because look at that right there, they're using a mannequin's head, meaning they have plans for someone to actually wear this thing. It's got me thinking we're getting a scene where Mathew Lillard is putting on this suit. But then there's also the real possibility that it might not even be used for this first movie. They could be doing tests of different puppeteers or different animatronics, since they already know they want to plan out 3 movies and time is of the essence with Blumhouse. Just look at how fast they made the Halloween movies, where at one point they were going to film Halloween Kills and Ends back to back. They could just maybe be starting things early on the next installments. So that's why I don't consider this like a massive spoiler. If this was like actually on the set of the movie and we knew they were filming the final scene, would not be making a video about all this. But the fact that they have made the suit, it's a possibility of showing up in the movie, it makes you wonder, how are they going to introduce it then? Super exciting stuff. Really, every set photo and piece of detail we have gotten just makes me like, when are we getting this movie? Is it going to be this year or is it going to be next year, Blumhouse? But this is where I throw it off to you guys. You see this photo here of the Springtrap suit being made by the company who's also making the suits for the movie. Do you think they're going to have it pop up in the first film? And if they do, how will they use it? Anything and everything, be sure to leave me your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.